here tonight. We really appreciate you being here. We're going to, first of all, Gary, did you want to say anything about this?
Do I want to put you on the spot?
I'm putting you on the spot. I'm just giving you the opportunity if you wanted to say anything about the process or
About the process or just about
what we're here for.
What we're here for? We're here to get a park in the Valley Springs area.
That's all we need.
We have parks in other districts. District 1 and District 5 is very, very limited. District 1 has one small park that I don't know a lot of people know about, and that's Nielsen Park in San Andreas. And Nielsen Park, the size of it is about the size of this room. So other than the private park that's here, Jenny Lind Veterans Memorial District Park, we really don't have any other parks in either District 1 or District 5. So we're interested because a lot of the population lives here, and a lot of the younger generation has moved up here. I'm saying younger because they're younger than me, that work in the valley and have kids, and they would need a place for those to take their children to go or have their children go. So we are looking through this to get your input on what you think would be a good idea for a park here in our district, include District 1 and District 5. And when you go forward, we'll give you an opportunity to go through all of these boards and you put your spots on there, what is a good idea for parks here in this area. We're very interested in hearing from the public on what they think is the best for our area and they're interested in seeing. I think that's what we're here for tonight. It's just the beginning of it. This is going to be a long process. There'll be some grants involved. I think once we get a master plan for not only our districts here, but for the entire county, we'll be eligible for some good grants, good sized grants that will help us construct these parks. And then after that, once they're constructed, the county will either have to enter contracts like we do with other parks to have them maintained, but we still provide the money for it. We just have agreements with other entities to maintain those parks within the county that the county actually owns. But I think that is working for us very well, that we don't have to have a special crew, but we are looking to have a Parks and Recs department and have one created that can handle all of that. Everything comes into them and they can maintain it and they can take care of all those contracts as we go. I think that's pretty much the core of what we're here for.
Thank you. So we're here from Odell. We're park planners. The county has hired us. We have several folks from the county here as well. I'm Karen Folsom. I'm running the show pretty much. Beverly's my assistant here. She's a planning specialist as well. We are deeply invested our careers in park planning. These are just a few of the park recreation plans that we've done. Some are neighboring counties to you. Stanislaus County, North Highlands is over in Sacramento, City of Stockton. Series, we're also working on Tuolumne River Regional Park, and we call it TRIP, so I trip over the name. And Scotts Valley, but these are a few. We've been doing park master plans for years and all over California. So it's just a little bit about us. Tonight we're going to share with you what we're working on in the Parks Master Plan. Give you a quick overview, timeline, a little bit of the county snapshot, especially for many of you have lived here forever, but there are some folks that have moved here recently, so this shares a little bit of the information about the county. Then we go to our interactive polling boards. We talk about the next steps, and we then have a walkabout. And before we do our walkabout, if anybody has any questions, I'm just asking that you hold the questions until we've given our presentation, because it might answer some of your questions. Also, I want to let you know that we are filming for PATV, so that's it for the housekeeping. So let's move on.
Can I say one thing?
Sure.
I don't mean to interrupt. This was District 1's park. So we redistricted, and it was robbed by District 2, so it was District 1's park.
You were robbed.
I had a point.
All right, well, the role of Parks and Recreation, you may be aware of this, but I just want to reiterate, it's so important for Parks and Recreation. Facilities for us to use, we found that during COVID, that it improves the quality of life. It's so important for our health. Being out in nature is not only important for children to learn how to work in the world, how to get along in the world, but also for older folks that, you know, it reduces being out in green space, reduces blood pressure. And we've just, there's been so many studies, I could go into it for an hour, of how important being out in parks is. It also provides opportunity for building community, places for family and friends to gather, whether it be a picnic area to have a birthday party, or an amphitheater to have music in the park. There's a lot of opportunities there in park space, or a building like this where folks can come and gather. The other thing about Parks and Recreation is it's important to protect our natural resources. Now, Calaveras County has many. There's green space and trees everywhere, but there are these areas where they're definitely protected. There are creeks that run through our parks. The cultural resources, we've heard a lot about the culture and the history of Calaveras County, which runs deep, and how a lot of communities are protecting that historical value. So with that, let's move on. So a parks master plan, this is a vague concept to some people, but what I wanted to share with you is a little bit of what it is. We are doing this because in the county's 2020 general plan that was adopted, it was stated that the county should do this. One is to maintain an inventory of all the parks. So we've gone around to all the parks and kind of taken a list of what is there. And now the county will have that inventory list to maintain it through the years. The next one is to adopt a master plan. So first we have to create the master plan, and then we will present it to the board for adoption. This allows us the county to pursue funding and support for local parks, and one of that is through grant opportunities. The Parks Master Plan is going to have a lot of research and assessment. This is a very brief description, so if you have more questions about actually what's in it, it's a very large document. We do research not only on the inventory, but a lot of other elements that I'll get into later. And we assess and analyze and come up with a final product. One thing that we're really pushing right now is the questionnaire, the survey that is online or available at the back, because that lends us the information we need to do the needs assessment, to assess what this community needs. So this county is different than other counties, and we want to know what's important to this county. And that through that questionnaire we can find out some of that information. So the goals for the county master plan are, first of all, to hear from the community, again, through the survey and these community meetings. This is our 10th meeting, in addition to interviews we did with the Board of Supervisors. So we've been all over the county and heard a lot of information. Now we're happy to be here in District 1 and 5 and hear from you. But mostly about the priorities. What are your priorities? It's very different than what's happening up in District 2, or maybe it's the same. We develop best practices and guidelines through that will inform future improvements and planning. A lot of that we do through our research. We look at trends, current and future trends in recreation that might be national trends, state trends, or countywide trends. Every agency does reporting, does studies about what's important right now. I heard from a woman last night that she's really sorry there's not more square dancing. So that has been trending down. But she loves it, and we heard that she wants more of it. So that was really interesting. And then creating the first steps for planning, future planning. that meet your needs. So this is just the first step in a series of steps like Gary shared. This is the first step, and then there's gonna be several other steps before we actually see a park, but this is just the beginning. This is my little squirrel who's on a trail. And I heard from somebody he should be gray, not orange. We did the project kickoff. We've done a lot of the research. Beverly's been out to inventory all the parks. We've been doing park assessment. We started the survey online about 3 weeks ago. And so that's been ongoing. The community outreach, like I mentioned, this is our 3rd week of meeting with communities. And that's not the end of it. We're about halfway through, but we will continue looking at those recreational trends. Park and facilities analysis will analysis what we get from the survey to do a needs assessment. We look at maps to find out where the parks are and where there are gaps, where are there no parks and we really need parks. And certain types of parks, whether they're sports fields or pickleball courts or walking trails or dog parks, in addition to a lot of others. I haven't left any out. And then we have a financial analyst that does look at deeply into funding options, not only grants, but what other funding options are out there for parks and recreation that will help build the parks and recreation here. With that, we'll put it all together and we'll give the county a draft Parks Master Plan document. So it's an 8.5 by 11 document. And they'll review it, let us know if we've missed anything or if they have a different insight, and then we'll revise it. And then it goes to the Board of Supervisors for adoption, similar to the general plan that was adopted in 2020. And then that's the first step. And then the county takes that and it'll have a list of action items that the county can take and start implementing. And this is good typically for 10 years. The document will be a living document where the county can update it annually or biannually with new demographic information, or if something has happened that changes one part of it, they can redo the inventory or add an addendum. There's a lot of ways it can be updated. So with that, we have the schedule. And this is just a lot of what I just mentioned, but we're right in the middle of it, and we are on track to deliver it to the Board of Supervisors by the end of the year. We're kind of moving pretty quickly, so it might be before then, but that's what we've scheduled so far. So this is the county snapshot. There are the 5 districts. They are based on population. District 1 and 5 are where we are now. 45,285 per the 2020 census. We use all that demographic data when we talk about context and when we give the information in the plan about Calaveras County itself. There are the 5 districts in the county. There is a Parks and Recreation Commission. But the county is also full of many diverse parks and facilities that are county-owned and also non-county owned. And we've been out to visit quite a few the last few days. Recreation opportunities for both residents and tourists. What a lot of folks want is to really focus on the residents and the people who live here. But we also want to keep in mind that tourists do come in here and bring economic viability to the county. What we have learned, and we were told this early on, is that each district is unique. So it's been really fun to meet everybody and find out, talk to people and find out, what everybody wants. And the survey has a question about which district you're in, so we are able to take that survey and summarize the data based on districts. These are the 5 county-owned parks. This board over here has some of the non-county-owned parks as well. But these are the 5 that the county owns the property, so that gives it a certain value. Nielsen Park, Alex Q, Mountain Ranch Community Park, Railroad Flat, and Murphy's Community Park. So these are the ones that we've inventoried. We did, someone in the county, I'm not sure who, found another park.
That was me.
That was you, Kathy, thank you.
We have another park in your district.
It's
What park is that?
Friedberger Park
Friedberger
in
Park.
San Andreas. They just,
Burger Park?
It's a patch of grass with a tree and a water fountain.
over near
No,
No,
Goodie.
it's literally like the size of a garage. I mean, it's like 20 by
So,
30.
yeah, it's smaller than Nielsen, which is about the size of this, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
just
good.
found
Yeah.
it, so yeah. Who knew?
Look, we already got you a park.
Yeah.
Okay. This is, Beverly's gonna take over now and talk about, the opportunity for input.
So Karen already mentioned there's the survey out there already. It's online, so we have paper copies if you wish to fill it out. If you could fill out by the end of the meeting and hand it over to us, that'd be great. If not, fill it out online or fill it out at home and you can send it over to the county. Really important to have you fill it out and have your friends and family fill it out because your friends and family are not here to share their input. So the survey is a great way for them to be able to share their thoughts and ideas on this whole process and the future of arts and recreation. So for the folks that are here, we have these boards here available as additional ways for you to provide input. So some of these are dot boards and some of these are just open-ended questions. With the dot boards, we have a lot of different recreation opportunities. Things like disc golf, water skiing, RV camping, gathering spaces like gazebos. And we're asking you to take some of those dots and vote and put a sticker on the green box underneath those pictures and vote on which ones you would like to see in the county. So those are the 4 there. And then we also have the open-ended questions where we'll ask you to provide some input on certain elements, whether that's on county-related parks, so those 5, and non-county, any of the other public parks, whether that's White Pines, Feeney, Shutter Tree, things like that. So there's those opportunities there. Really quickly, this slide right here shows an example of what all this information that you're sharing with us will end up looking like in the document. We take all the information you're telling us and we assess it and analyze it and turn out kind of graphs and data, which is easier for you all to read and understand than going through all 300 plus surveys. So on the bottom right hand corner, you'll see this is just an example, but we list clearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are the top recreation activities that folks would like to see? What are top improvements? And so it's really important for us to hear what you have to say. And what this does is it helps the county really easily identify what those needs are. So when a grant comes in and it's asking, what does the community need? They can easily flip to this and say, oh, this is what District 1 needs, this is what District 5 needs. So again, really important, please fill out that survey, tell your friends and family, tell your neighbor, tell the grocery store person helping you out.
Go to Flyers Marvell.
So I'm just gonna really quickly go over the boards again and the content on them. So again, this right here is a map of all the county parks, county-owned, and some non-county, some other public parks. We don't list them all here. We know there's a lot of other ones. This whole board would be covered in dots if we were able to list them all. But take a look at them. If you don't see anything on here that you go to, please let us know on one of the boards over there where you can write on Post-it. What's the park? What do you like about it? What do you think should be improved? Things like that would be really helpful for us.
There's some cool parks.
Don't think we have these, but we did go out and inventory the parks, and these are some pictures that were taken at those parks of the condition. So Alex Q, Nielsen, Mountain Ranch, and then this one is Murphy's and Roller Flats. So this one's a dot board. Again, what kind of recreation opportunity would you like to see? So you'll see there's a lot of different options out there: hiking trails, equestrian trails, playgrounds, picnic tables, dog parks. Another one, this one's a little bit more sports field focused, pickleball, basketball, bocce ball, maybe a skate park, pump track. This one has more water-related sports, whether it's non-motorized or motorized. And this last one here is a little bit more about social gathering spaces, event plazas, amphitheaters for concerts, or large group picnic areas. And then really quickly, our first open-ended question that we have is, what would you like to see recreation programs in the county? If so, let us know what they are, whether that's yoga, sewing, more youth camps, daycare, things like that. Let us know. And then, have you visited a county park? Let us know which ones. What did you like about it? What did you not like? Did you see something that could be improved upon? You can write that on this board. This is asking what improvements would you like to see at county parks and recreational facilities. And then our last one is focused on all the other public parks out there. So that's all the boards out here for you all to interact with and provide additional opinions and comments. And again, we have the survey. It's available online. You can scan the QR code or go to that survey link right there. It does close on April 25th, which is next
Week.
Thursday.
A week from today.
Yeah. And then we do have a website for this project. We'll be updating it with information as the park master plan process moves along. That's where we'll be updating or adding PATV recordings of all the meetings. So if you would like to go back to them, they're available online. There's also an email address at the website there for you all if you feel after this meeting and you've already taken the survey that you had additional thoughts, you could go ahead and email that email address there.
So with that, we can do the walkabout, but first I wanted to see if anybody had any questions that we could answer. Any questions that come to mind? I know this is a very brief overview of the Parks Master Plan. So, questions?
I was just wondering, again, you're talking about grants for funding the parks plan. Will there be any possibility, because I know my husband's going to ask this question, of our taxes being increased when we're looking at doing the math, the Parks Master Plan?
Go ahead.
We can't just increase taxes.
Mm-hmm.
It has to go to the vote.
Right.
And it has to be a 2/3 vote, so no, we can't just increase
But
taxes.
it could be.
I
You mean, would it
don't
be an option
foresee
that's
it.
presented?
I don't really foresee it.
I
But,
mean, I'm for it, but I know my husband's going to be.
yeah, but we can't just increase taxes. That's not something we can do.
So we're looking more at grants and
Grants.
what we have in the funds now.
Correct.
And having the master plan will make us eligible for more grant money.
And partnerships. I
And
mean, we're doing
partnerships.
really good with partnerships with various, nonprofit organizations and recreation groups.
Yes, sir.
The dots that are in the green areas now, that's from all the other meetings. So we're
No.
not separating those?
Actually, those are from just last night.
Oh, those-
We take
so-
pictures of them every day, after
meeting,
every meeting.
so we can.
So you didn't clear them just for us and take District 1's? what
We
they're
cleared
put on
them
there?
we cleared them, these were new boards last night, and then we took pictures, so we'll be able to count. We've already counted what was added last night. The reason we're reusing these
That's
and
a
not
country
printing
last
them is to
night,
save the
weren't-
county money.
So do your survey, Gary, do the survey.
Well, I'm gonna do the survey and I'm gonna do more than one. Can you do more than one? Keep going on there and do more than one?
No.
So Gary, they will count just your guys' dots tonight, so they'll
Well, I
subtract what was
understand, but
said.
it would have been nice. if-
Oh, just to see
but
yours.
You took pictures, I understand.
Yeah.
And guess what? I can't do dots again. I've already done my dots. Unless you want to give me extra dots.
You're dotless?
I'm dotless.
Fill it out, say it was District 2 and say that they need more parks in District 1.
Well, you can
We'll
take
have a
that
tally.
comment on the board.
Yeah.
Gary, we will have a tally. We'll have a spreadsheet. District 1 and 5 had this many dots for each board.
Okay, I just want to make sure that
It'll be
District 1
documented.
is counted as District 1
Yeah.
when you start going on those dots, and what we, the people in this room and the surveys feel is necessary for our benefit down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, each district is very unique, and
It
so
is.
we're hearing that and learning that, and we want to make sure that the Parks Master Plan reflects that.
So when we do, if we, hopefully we will, have parks, you know, at least a park, shall we say, will there be fees for reserving it or doing events there?
There potentially could be, because that will help pay for the maintenance of the park.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it.
And those are the kinds of things that our financial analysts will be looking at.
Okay.
Any questions?
Once the plan is adopted and it's been approved by the county, what's the timeline on how long it would take for the park to actually be constructed and that sort of?
You know, that's really flexible. The county does have a grant writer on staff now, so that's something that they're constantly looking at, what grants are coming in. Some of those grant applications require this document, so that allows the county to have more opportunities. A lot of it depends on the project itself. I've worked on park grant projects that might take 2 years, and depending on the jurisdictions, the agencies involved, it could take 5 years, unfortunately. But if it's as small as this room, it would probably go faster.
How much of a park?
Well, you start with the size of the room, then you grow.
Then there's that. There's a lot of parks that we design that are phased. You know, you start, you have your land and you phase it. You start with what's most important, which might be that gathering space or the baseball field. And then you build out from that. We just saw Alex Q today, which now has a pickleball court and playground, which it
That came
didn't
from
have
a grant.
last year, right? And that was all a grant?
Most of it was, some of it was donations, so it was a Prop 68 grant. So it's really cool.
Yeah. Do you have any questions?
If I can just add,
Yeah.
for those that do social media, Facebook, there is a Calaveras County Parks and Recreation webpage, Facebook page. I try to be really mindful and keep fresh and up to date on it. And so please take a look at that, and if you have any questions, I'll obviously reach out anytime.
And again, please tell your friends, your family,
Yep.
everybody you know to fill out the survey. It just gives us more information of what folks really want, especially in this district. All right, so now we can
Get your
walk
dots.
about, 7th inning stretch. We've got dots
And
and
if we did the survey, we can still do this?
You can still,
Yeah, okay,
just make sure.